Back you guys go. Hey guys, it's Bill from WPS Reptiles, and this is part 2 of the video that I started at the Show Me Show in Janesville, where I want to continue talking about the myths and misconceptions about reptiles, the questions that I commonly get when I do reptile education presentations. I got back from the show, I put the animals away, and I was tired, and so this is not that same day, this is a few days later, but that's cool. It gave me a couple days to reflect on some more questions that I get. Let's jump right into it, you guys. Most of the misconceptions that people have about reptiles seem to revolve around snakes, but I do get some questions and thoughts about turtles and tortoises as well. So I'm going to use one of my redfoot tortoises that we have here at our facility to talk about some of the questions that I get. Now, I will say that this doesn't really fall into the category of misconceptions or myth or misperceptions, but I do get a couple really common questions about turtles and tortoises. And the first question is, can they feel when you pet their shells? And they absolutely can. Tortoises and turtles can feel sensation through their shells. Their shells are made of bone, but there are a network of nerve endings and blood vessels within that. What we see on the outside are scales called scutes, but the shell is a living organism, and there's sensation through that. They can feel pain through their shell, they can feel touch, and they can feel sensation. Yes, turtles and tortoises can absolutely feel through their shell. So another comment or question that I get sometimes, I guess it's not very often, it's pretty rare right now, but some people still do ask, especially younger kids, if turtles and tortoises climb out of their shell. I think they're taught that tortoises and turtles live in their shell, but they don't live inside their shell. They are their shell. Their shells are part of their body and part of their skeleton. Their backbone and their ribs fuse to this top shell, which is also called a carapace, and as the turtle grows, the tortoise grows, the shell grows with them, but they do not climb out of their shells. Yes, they do hide inside their shells when they feel scared or threatened, but their shell is part of their body, they are born with it, and they die with it. This here is Fern, and Fern is another one of our ambassador bearded dragons. She's a pretty girl. We're going to use her for this next example. Will they bite you? I get that question a lot. People are worried about getting bit. People don't want to see me get bit. And so we get asked all the time, will the animal bite? Will the animal bite me? And a lot of reptile educators, a lot of people in the hobby like to say, anything with a mouth can bite. And yes, while that's true, anything with a mouth can bite, I kind of stopped saying that. I feel it sort of comes off as condescending. Even though it's true, anything with a mouth technically can bite, I like to approach the question just a little bit differently. Yes, anything with a mouth can bite, but we work with these animals, we socialize these animals, and a lot of times animals biting will either come from a food response because they're hungry or a defense response because they're scared or threatened. They don't have words to use to say, leave me alone, please don't hurt me. And so they're going to use their behaviors. We all know that. I like to kind of say that, yes, the animals can bite and there's always that risk. We're going to be careful to make sure no one gets bit. But these animals they feel safe with us. They feel calm with us. They're not threatened by us. And therefore, we really don't need to worry about getting bit, but we are going to be precautious and safe just to make sure that a bite doesn't happen. All right, my buddies behind me are going to help me with this question. And really quick, yes, this is a 125. I've got a couple aquatic turtles in it, a couple of goldfish, but my fella here is definitely going to be outgrowing this cage and I'm going to figure out a pond situation for him in the spring because he's gotten pretty big. He still has plenty of room to swim, but he's getting big. I'm watching him with while I'm filming this. So we do still get a lot of questions and comments at Reptile shows. If I keep it in something small, will it stay small? And that's a complex question and a complex answer. But the short answer is no, that's not a good thing to do. It's not an ethical choice to make. And it can be borderline inhumane to keep an animal small by keeping it in a small cage. People think this way with goldfish. People think this way with aquatic turtles, alligators. I'm going to keep it small by keeping it in something small. And the way I like to answer this at presentations is kind of directly saying that it's not a really ethical thing to do, that while some animals will have physical statures be stunted by keeping them in small cages, their vital organs are going to continue growing. They're going to have enlarged hearts. They're going to have kidney issues. They're going to have liver issues. And it's not a humane way to keep an animal. If you're going to keep an animal as a pet, know what you're getting into, know how big your pet's going to get, and you'll need to be prepared for that. So don't buy an aquatic turtle and keep it in a small tank to keep it small. Buy an aquatic turtle knowing it's going to get large and prepare yourself for that, or find another pet besides an aquatic turtle to get. We still get this comment a lot. And again, a lot of people who don't keep reptiles, they're not familiar with keeping reptiles. I get it. I understand where they might think that that works, and there might be some evidence of it. Some animals can slow their metabolisms down to slow their growth down, and in some way, they're staying small by staying in something small. But again, it's not an ethical choice at all to make. It's rather inhumane and can be cruel to the animal. There's physical deformities, enlarged hearts. Don't do it. Don't keep something small in a small cage. But that's another question, that's another myth that we get when we do reptile presentations. I got to get back to work. I got to get some stuff misted, and I got to get some things fed. But I'm going to ask you guys who watch this, thank you for watching this. I appreciate your support. If I missed anything, if there's any reptile myths that you've heard of before, if there's any misconceptions that you've heard, either just you're a reptile keeper and people, your family members have said something to you, oh, the snake's sizing you up when you're at like the Thanksgiving dinner table. No, they're not, Grandpa. Drop them in a comment. Leave a comment here about a common reptile myth that you've heard before, and I will, ideally do a follow-up video to this answering some of the myths that you guys have commented. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate the support. I'm really enjoying making YouTube videos. It's been a lot of fun, and I will see you guys in the next one.